One of Yugi's boss monsters outside of the Dark Magician and Blackluster Soldier has finally received some support / retrain / overhaul, because goddamn, if these cards aren't amazing. I'm of course talking about the Chimera cards. Now these were underwhelming to most at launch. Most people think they were going to do anything. I didn't think they were going to do anything either, but I'm going to be honest, I picked them up, played them anyway because they looked like a blast, and they were a lot better than I was expecting. After a little bit of learning, the amount of resources you can generate with a deck like this is absolutely insane, and because of all of that, we're able to play a whole bunch of really powerful going second cards, and what we end up doing is we find ourselves winning most of our games through out-resourcing and sort of board-breaking our opponent, which is, it feels like a weird way to win, but it feels like a really good way to win, right? It's definitely not one of the top win rates out there. It's not a top tier deck, anything of the sort. However, it is significantly more competitive than I was initially led to believe. So talking about a couple of the main cards, we of course have Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws. This card, when summoned, will add a level 5 Fiend or a Chimera Fusion from deck to hand. That's not going to come up as much as its second effect though, because its second effect says that when it's sent to the graveyard as fusion material, you get to add an illusion monster from deck to hand. Very useful. We then have the retrain of the big bad Baphomet, the level 5 1400 beater from back in the day. When this card is summoned, you get to add a level 4 beast monster and Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. Now, this is and or, which means if you no longer have a copy of either, you can still add the one that you do have, which is great because they could very easily have left that line of text out, that one little word, and could have made this card a lot worse. So I'm really glad they put that in. So it means that you get to add a level 4 beast and Chimera Fusion, which of course relates not only to the Gazelle that we just talked about, but it also relates to Springan's Kit, which is a level 4 beast. That's where the branded synergy comes in. We'll get to that in just a moment. We have the Mirror Sword Knight, which is essentially your best one-card starter. This card's genuinely nuts. If it battles a monster, neither can be destroyed in that battle. Now, that's a trait common among all illusion-type monsters. Some players probably haven't even realized that a whole new typing was introduced with these new cards because, again, nobody's really playing these cards. But with the illusion monsters, at least the ones we have thus far, neither monster can be destroyed in a battle involving one of those monsters, which is interesting. Now, this card also has a quick effect that will allow you to tribute it to special summon a monster from your deck that mentions the Chimera Fusion. This is the primary method of summoning the big winged Baphomet, which would otherwise be rather difficult to summon, which is really, really effective. This card also, in the graveyard, when your opponent activates a monster effect while you control Chimera, the flying mythical beast, you can banish this card from your graveyard to negate that effect. So this is essentially your big bad one-card starter. It is nuts how much advantage you can generate off this one card, and we're running another card to search for it. That will be our Cornfield Coatl. Cornfield Coatl can discard itself to search your deck for a monster that mentions Chimera Fusion in its text. So that can search you quite a number of cards. This card's really fucking strong. It also has a similar effect to the Mirror Knight's effect, where if your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control while you have Chimera, the flying mythical beast, on your field, you can banish this card from graveyard to negate that effect. So this guy, as well as our Mirror Knight, both act as graveyard-based negates, which adds a lot of protection and control to the archetype that really would have been struggling without. We of course have the quick play spell card, Chimera Fusion. It is a, well, as the name would imply, a fusion spell card. This card can be activated multiple times per turn, not hard ones per turn, which is incredible and comes up a lot. The fact that it's a quick play spell also comes up a lot, because you can use this to summon out powerful fusion monsters such as the Guardian Chimera during your opponent's turn, which is one of the deck's primary forms of interruption. But that's an amazing form of interruption because you can pop between 1 to 2 cards while also drawing 1 to 2 cards, which is absolutely incredible. This card, as a hard once per turn, has an additional effect that so long as you have Chimera, the flying mythical beast, on your side of the field or in your graveyard, you can add this card back from your graveyard to your hand. Now, we keep referencing this monster called Chimera, the flying mythical beast. The original version of that monster is, of course, ass. So that's not what we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing one of its retrains, the Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, which, so long as it's on the field and in the graveyard, has its name changed to Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast. So that is how you're going to fulfill those conditions. When this card is summoned, you can also activate its effect, and at the end of that turn, you will send one random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Loop for one. Love to see it. And during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target a beast, fiend, or illusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Excellent for generating more resources, proccing the effects of Baphomet and Gazelle during your opponent's turn, and ensuring you have enough fusion materials for something like a Guardian Chimera should the need arise. We are also playing Chimera the Illusion Beast. This card also takes the name of Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast on field and graveyard. It can attack a number of monsters each battle phase up to the number of materials used for its summon, so it can get quite aggressive, and at 3100 attack points, that's definitely nothing to scoff at. But the most important thing is that if it battles an opponent's monster, that monster's attack points are reduced to 0 and its effects are negated. Now, why does that matter? Well, this is an illusion type monster. That means that if it battles, neither monster is destroyed, meaning you can swing into an opponent's monster, reduce its attack points down to 0, and continue to attack it until, of course, your opponent runs out of life points. Given that this card can attack multiple times, not only will this card be able to attack it, you will also have your other monsters who will be able to attack it. So getting lethal damage over that is not as difficult as one may think. A lot of people are very close-minded about that, where they think that they need to summon this card with like 4 materials to get it to OTK. Like, yeah, by itself, sure, but you're gonna have other monsters. It can do the job. We're not relying too heavily upon this card, but it is really awesome when it comes up. That's pretty much all of the new cards that we're playing, apart from the occasional ones, such as Magnum the Reliever. Magnum's really good as well, but that's enough new cards talked about for now. In terms of the rest of the deck and how that works, we're of course running a Frightful Patchwork engine as well as a branded engine. These cards here are basically designed to get you access to your fusion spells, access to your fusion effects, because when these guys are used as materials, don't forget they get extra effects. So getting those fusion summons going right away, generating advantage, generating resources, as well as branded fusion being a crazy card to begin with. Not only does the branded cards come up an awful lot, and are of course exceptionally powerful as a top tier deck, they also help you trigger your things like your Gazelle directly from your deck, which is why we're playing this particular lineup. I don't want to talk too much about the deck right here at the beginning. We are going to go through some basic combos here. I'm going to show off a 1-card combo you can do with the Mirror Sword Knight in solo mode. I'm going to show you what a 1-card combo with this guy looks like. Then I've got a couple of replays, and we're going to play a game or two live in the Master Rank at the end of the video. So if you're interested in this video, as well as anything else, of course, that we make on this channel, make sure you're subscribed to catch it as it's coming out, and like this video to help me get it to even more people. But I'm not going to waste any more of your time here at the start. Let's get right into that combo. Now, this is not a 1-card combo in the traditional sense. Yes, of course, it uses 1 card and it is a combo, but your goal is not setting up 4 million negates and 7 barons and 17 draws, whatever it is. What we're aiming to do is we're aiming to set ourselves up in a position where we're able to generate seemingly endless amounts of card advantage while also being able to disrupt our opponent in very meaningful ways, and that is the key of this deck. We're going to be using our primary sword of engine to continue to fuel our hand, ensuring that when turn 3 hits, when turn 5 hits, when turn 4 hits, when turn 6 hits, we always have that play. We're going to be using our monsters to give through, beat down our opponent. We're going to be popping all their cards, we're going to be drawing a shitload of cards, using our board breakers, using our hand traps, and that is the goal of the deck. It is resource management. It is going to grind your opponent down. And it does have some very explosive plays, and we're going to show some of those off right now with a 1-card combo using the Mirror Sword Knight. So using the Mirror Sword Knight, you're going to normal summon it, of course. We're going to bring this card out. Using its effect right away, we're going to tribute it to special summon from our deck our Big Winged Baphomet. Big Winged Baphomet's going to generate a ton of resources here, because on summon, it's going to search our deck not only for a level 4 beast, it's also going to search our deck for the fusion spell card Chimera Fusion, the quick play glue that holds this whole deck together. We're going to start with that Chimera Fusion. We're going to get fusion summoning. We're going to combine our Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws, as well as our Big Winged Baphomet to fusion summon into Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts. This card, of course, takes on the name of Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, on the field, which is key. So what you're going to want to do here is activate all 3 of these effects. Usually you're going to want to save the Chimera for last, just because its effect is the least prone to different forms of interruption. So we're going to go Chainlink 1 Baphomet, Chainlink 2 Gazelle, and then Chainlink 3 Chimera. Chimera's effect basically isn't really susceptible to any particular form of interruption, whereas Gazelles can be ashed and Baphomets can be hit with Ghost Spell. So you typically don't want to leave those avenues up for no reason when you can just stop them using Gazelle. And now this is a huge imperm target. People will be absolutely glued to try and get imperm this card, so expect that to happen regardless. So what we're going to do here is we're going to search our deck for a card. Usually you're going to grab Cornfield Coatl, just because it's a really good card to have in Grave for follow-up and things like that, so it's a good card to have. We're going to go for our Mirror Knight back to the field off of Gazelle's effect, and then we're going to, at the end phase, loop a card out of our opponent's hand. Now we're going to activate the effect of Chimera Fusion in our graveyard, which is going to add itself back to our hand. Very useful effect. So now this is a quick play fusion spell card, meaning if we have more resources in hand, we can go crazy, we can activate this again, start going absolutely nuts. But let's not go too crazy for just the purpose of this demonstration. We're also going to activate the effect of our Cornfield Coatl. If you haven't used this card so far in the turn, this can also search for a Sword Knight to start your combo, but if you didn't use this to start your combo, you can discard it now to grab another card to use as fusion material during the opponent's turn. So we're going to grab Gazelle. Doesn't really matter what we grab. Let's grab this one. And then you're basically going to set Chimera Fusion and pass. And this is your end board. Now, why is this end board so good? Well, let me show you. We're going to pass turn into our opponent's turn using just these cards. You know, let's pretend Ash Blossom and Droplet and all of these other crazily powerful cards don't exist, which is a big part of the deck. They definitely exist. But let's assume for a moment they don't. We're going to activate during the end phase, looping a card out of our opponent's hand. We hit a fusion spell. Perfect, right? Then you're going to want to, as early as you can, standby, draw, main, whatever, you're going to want to use the effect of your Mirror Sword Knight. I'm going to activate this. Normally you want to do it in draw phase, just in case your opponent has like Duel or whatever, but I mean, are they going to draw themselves on their own turn? But either way, the point is, Sword Knight going to summon out the second big winged Baphomet from the deck. You're summoning both. We're going to use this card's effect again. We're going to get searching again. We've got Chimera Fusion, and usually if you don't have any particular need for Gazelle, you're going to grab yourself a Springen's Kit. And what that's going to do is that's going to guarantee that for your next turn, you have access to Branded Fusion as follow-up, which is perfect. Now, what are we doing with these cards here? Well, we've got Chimera Fusion, which is a quick play fusion spell. So let's let our opponent put a couple of cards on board, and we're going to show off the freedom and the power that we have to move around. They're going to go for Magician Souls, dumping our Dark Magician to the graveyard. So they're going to special summon that Dark Magician from the grave. Okay, that's totally fine. Soul Servant then is going to chain, I guess, whatever. This is just the bot. We don't care about their plays, right? But I just want to show off a couple of the cards. So they're going to send this. They're going to summon the Dark Magician. So now they're going to activate Dark Magical Circle, of course. We got to negate. We can negate it. Perfect. That's the Cornfield Coatl for you, right? And they've got a similar effect with our Sword Knight. So that is wonderful. So that circle, it does absolutely nothing. Get that shit out of here. Negated and destroyed. Big deal as well. They're going to try and draw a card off of this. You know what? That's totally fine. Draw your card. Oh, they drew Palladium Oracle Mahad. That card is almost scary. They're going to summon out Palladium Oracle Mahad. Right? Okay. So I imagine Bob probably wants to go to the end of main here. Normal summon. Oh, come on, brother. There's here. You know what? There you go. Perfect example. Opponent control. Yeah, there you go. Sword Mirror Knight. There's a negate. So we've negated and destroyed 2 of their cards so far already. Right, so this is showing the control. The control is not obvious. It's not on the field. It's not staring you in the face. It's not a Baron de Fleur. They're going to go Ebon Illusion Magician. You know what? I think that's a perfect opportunity for us to go Chimera Fusion right here. We're going to fuse during our opponent's turn using our Big Wing Baphomet on the field, our Gazelle that we added to your hand, and depending upon what you want, the last card is up to you. You can either use your Chimera from the field if you want to pop an additional card, or you can use a card in your hand if you want to draw an additional card. I'm not too worried about popping this rod, so I'm gonna send 2 from hand. I'm gonna pop 1, draw 2. Guardian Chimera on summon. Not only does it activate, we also get to chain block it using our Gazelle, because it's then gonna try and search our deck for another card. Perfect. And this is what I mean. The resources are insane. We're gonna add it from deck to hand. Sure, I'll grab myself another Coatl. Absolutely. Let me set up the full combo again for next turn. Draw 2, pop 1, get that dork out of here, and just like that. Right? I'm not going to go through a full duel against the bot, but you see my meaning, right? And then look at how many cards we have in hand. Look at this hand. Look at the size of it. Look how many cards we have. This is insane. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Look at how much resources we were able to generate. We were still able to get rid of between 3 to 4 of our opponent's cards during their turn through just that 1 card combo, not counting us having any hand traps, the fact that we had Droplet, the fact that we had Ash in that opening hand as well. It's just incredible. It really is just incredible. I've no other words for it. And it feels super fluid. It feels really nice. No complaints here whatsoever. I was very pleasantly surprised when I started playing this deck. And you're going to see that in a couple of replays. All right, getting into our first replay here. A bit of an interesting hand, as I'm sure you can see. We're going to go Branded Fusion here. Going to be met with Max C. So we are actually going to play in the Max C during our very first game. So that puts us, you would imagine, at a very serious disadvantage. We're going to fuse 2 going into Rindbrum, the Striking Dragon. That's going to trigger Gazelle's effect that I mentioned before, searching our deck for Coatl. Now we're going to use the Coatl, we're going to discard it, grabbing our Shadow Knight, and just like that, there's full combo. We're going to summon the Shadow Knight, tributing it off, we're going to summon our big winged Baphomet, we're going to use the Baphomet, grabbing another Gazelle, we're going to grab ourselves another Chimera fusion, that's 3 of them bitches in hand. We're now going to fusion summon, fuck you Maxi buddy, I'm playing into it, we're going to go in the Chimera here. Now we're going to use Big Wing Baphomet, we're going to summon a card back, we're going to go Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, to loop a card out of hand. He's going to go for that Veiler, of course, that's totally fine. Veiler is annoying, but we're actually going to dodge it yet again using the Chimera Fusion. We're going to fuse this as well as the Albaz in our hand to summon out Magnum the Reliever. That's going to dodge that Veiler, meaning we still get to, of course, loop a card out of his hand during the end phase, plus we get some extra interruption in the form of the Magnum. Going to shuffle Brand the Fusion back, drawing a card, drawing in the Coatl is nice. Chimera Fusion coming back. Again, we're going to set 2 and we're going to pass to our opponent. We're going to loop Triple Tactics Thrust out of his hand. So they've got, what's that, 8 cards in hand? They're going to go for their Planet Pathfinder. We're going to go for Sword Knight pretty quickly into this combo. They're going to hit us with the Ash there. We're actually going to use this opportunity to pop the Planet Pathfinder. So the way this card works is essentially when your opponent, or when a card on the field is activated, I should say, this guy will allow you to banish a polymerization or fusion spell card from your graveyard to pop a card on the field. So we're going to pop that Pathfinder before it gets a chance to resolve. That's going to trigger, of course, Gazelle in our graveyard as well, summoning a card back from the grave, as well as Maxi here, finishing off our chain link of 5. So Maxi resolve, Gazelle's going to summon back the Big Wing Baphomet, Magnum Reliever's going to pop that Pathfinder, Ash is going to negate our Shadow Knight, but that's totally fine, because we just summon back the Baphomet from grave instead. Didn't even matter. Grabbing our Gazelle, we're going to draw off of their Ogre summon. Ogre going to search for Kashtira Preparations. They're going to try and do a little something against us here, going into that Raise Heart. That's when we're going to flip up the Chimera Fusion. Fusion summon with 3 cards into the Guardian Chimera for pop 2, draw 1. That's going to trigger as well the effective Gazelle that we've used from our hand as material, and the Baphomet that we used on our field, maintaining that crazy level of advantage. So we're now going to summon back the Coatl from the grave. We're now going to use our Gazelle to grab ourselves a Sword Knight for next turn, and Chimera is going to draw 1, pop 2. Get rid of those fucking cash cards, you dork. Going to go catch their Birth, unfortunately, or they just had the Birth in hand, I guess. Going to go for Raise Heart, banishing a Unicorn from deck. They're going to set 3. And they're going to pass. They don't want to play in the Armaxi anymore. That's totally fair. We're going to go Call by the Grave off the top. Coatl, discarding itself, going to grab ourselves another card from the deck. They're going to go Preparations. That's fine. I can live with Preparations because Magnum the Reliever is going to use that opportunity to pop that Birth. Except our opponent's got Imperm. That's totally fine. We could potentially have dodged the Imperm using Super Polymerization here, but I didn't think it was worth the potential cost. I would rather them just have their Birth, have their Preparations. It's not going to be enough to stop us. We're going to search our deck for the Big Wing Baphomet, normal summon, into the Frightful Patchwork, grabbing ourselves another Polymerization and an Edge Imp Chain, crazy amount of fusion material, and our opponent decides that, you know what, they can't keep up. And they can't keep up. Look at our hand size compared to the amount of resources our opponent has. They just couldn't do it. Next game. Alrighty, getting into this game. Going first, actually, which is surprising. I've been on a bit of a cold streak when it comes to the coin toss lately. You know, Konami have not been showing you boy very much love in that department, but I'll take what I can get. You know, you want to give me the one, Konami? I will take the one. Do not worry about that, sir. What have we got on file? Oh, you love to see it. Okay. Okay, if they've got Ash and Maxi, this gets a little dicey, but you know what? I like my odds. I'm liking my odds. Plus, we got that double Super Poly. Whew, it's gonna be rough, my guy. It is gonna be rough. Alright, let's go for the Mirror Sword Knight. I feel like if our opponent has... that might be a Sheesh Meister. Okay, let's go for the Mirror Sword Knight. We're gonna activate the Mirror Sword Knight. If he doesn't Ash this, then he doesn't have Ash, right? I think it's gonna be Maxi. Neither. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Oof, that makes me nervous, actually. Okay. Big Winged Baphomet. Bringing out the big dog himself. We're going to get searching our deck, basically. We've already got Gazelle in hand, which means we can pretty freely search for Kit. Dimensional Shifter. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm going to say no to that one, Chief. Shifter's tough. Shifter's not one I've actually faced in testing. I would be rather curious to see how my deck handles it, but no. if I can avoid it at all, I absolutely will. We're not playing in the Shifter. Fuck that. All right, we're gonna grab Chimera Fusion. I am also gonna grab myself. We could grab another Gazelle, but I'm gonna grab Le Kit. Kit is gonna be useful. Perfect. Got that Chimera Fusion on the go. And it's time to combo. It's time to go nuts. Time to go ham. Absolutely nuts. We're gonna fuse together our Baphomet and our Gazelle, summoning out Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts. I also just love the way these cards... Tell me that this is not one of the nicest looking cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! What? Like, they nailed this, right? Gazelle, even Gazelle is absolutely stunning. They fucking A1 perfect art on these cards. 100%. Baphomet and Grave, we're going to activate. We're going to search our deck for... Oh, this is going to summon back from Grave, sorry. So we're going to summon back that Sword Knight. Gazelle then's going to activate. We're going to search our deck for a card. And then our Chimera is going to activate to mill a card out of our opponent's hand. Overall, pretty good. Our opponent's name completely blank, like they're going to be after I send into the fucking Shadow Realm. Grabbing another Coatl for follow-up, I guess. It doesn't really matter too much. Again, they're probably just going to be used as fusion material alongside Chimera Fusion anyways, so it's not a huge deal. Now we're going to activate our Chimera Fusion and Grave. And we're simply going to set 2 chill. Man, we're just going to set 2 and chill. As simple as that, man. We could even honestly set all 3 of these. Part of me doesn't want to. Part of me wants to, like, hold on to one. But, I think I will actually hold on to one. Yeah, I think I will. Alright, let's see what you're playing. Card out of the hand. Ooh, Orochi. Oh, shit. Alright, that doesn't do... that's still summonable from Graveyard, but it gives me information, which is nice. It's a little something. It's a little baby something. See, that's why I didn't set both. I had a feeling that this was going to happen. Alrighty. That's very annoying, actually. That's super annoying. Okay. Alright, buddy. You got me. You got me. Let's go for... So, Chain Link 1, we're going to go Chimera Fusion, right? Chain Link 1. Then Chain Link 2, we're going to go for Mirror Sword Knight. We're going to tribute this card off. We're going to search our deck for... Or, sorry, special summon from our deck. A monster that mentions Chimera Fusion. Okay. This is fine. This is totally fine. So we're going to summon from deck... What do we want to summon? We probably want to summon Gazelle. Don't forget, we're not going to be able to use the summon effect of whatever it is we summon. We're only going to get the fusion effect, fusion material effect. So I'm going to summon Gazelle. Then we're going to use Chimera Fusion to go into potentially the Illusion Beast here. Although Magnum the Reliever is not a bad option either. But I really think the Illusion Beast might be even better. Although if they're playing... no, they're playing some sort of like level 8 Axes banishment shenanigans. So I think I am going to go Chimera here, actually. Yeah, I am going to go Chimera. We're going to fuse the Coatl, and we're going to fuse the Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast here. We're going to summon out our big dog, Chimera, the Illusion Beast. Do you get your... If this card battles an opponent's monster, they can reduce it to 0. Yeah, perfect. So we do lose our Super Poly. Kind of cringe. We do actually get the search effect of Gazelle after all. Which, I wasn't expecting to get. I probably should have summoned Baphomet then. But, plans change. We can still summon Baphomet from Grave, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we can. We can still summon it from Grave, so it really doesn't matter which one we searched for. Let's grab ourselves a little Chimera Fusion. Like, it legitimately doesn't matter which one we searched for, because we just summoned the other one off of this kind of Grave. Now, the reason we wanted to summon this over potentially like a Dragostapelia or something like that is his name being treated as Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast on field, means Coatl and... Sword Knight still have their effects active in Grave, and I feel like those 2 interactions by themselves are just more valuable than having a Dragostapelia on field. Plus, you have to consider the advantage that we're going to net from the sort of follow-up effects and the fact that they can't just like beat over this card, they can't like destroy, just like swing over it, and if they do decide to attack it, they're going to have their attack reduced to 0 and effects negated. And the negation is permanent, right? So even though they're going to stay on the field, they're not going to be able to do anything. So Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, or Chimera the Illusion Beast, I should say, I feel was definitely a stronger play overall. Oh, and our opponent's finally making a move. Seals ban? Mirror Sword Knight. They're going to negate the effect of Mirror Sword Knight. What? So you're going to use a effect that is so crucial that you could... Oh, brother! Oh, he's got triple attack in hand. No shot. This is your hand. There's no way. All right. I mean, to be fair then, on the flip side, another thing to consider here is that the Chimera is also, unironically, less dangerous for our opponent to take control of than a potential Dragostapelia would have been, right? Because Dragostapelia would have been able to attack and destroy a monster. Can't do that with Chimera. That means he's going to have to attack with something else. So realistically, we should be able to hold this guy. Oh, he took Gazelle. Okay. Oh, you took Gazelle. Alright, bro. Alright, okay. I didn't know you were down like that. Okay. Zombie vampire. That's brave. That is so brave. That is bold as hell. Bro is really just fucking grasping at straws here. What did you mill? He milled a bunch of... Yeah, milled a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, he milled nothing. He does get to summon a card back, but like he milled nothing. None of these cards are useful. Oh, the Astral Karibo! Oh no! Astral Karibo comes out as a level 8. Are you gonna go in the Draglubion? He is. Is that gonna give him lethal? No shot that's gonna give him lethal. Hang on. No way. No, this can't be happening. Ain't no goddamn way this is happening right now. I cannot fucking believe this. I fucking hit it here. Oh my god. He's gonna get like 17,000 attack. Oh no. I fucking hit it here. I really should have summoned him in defense. I really thought about it too, man. I really thought about summoning him in defense, man. You can't be doing this to me, man. Oh, no. Shit, man. Hang on, right? There can't be something I can do about this. Shit, man. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. No way. Activate the Big Wing Performate. Grab Chimera Fusion. Grab Gazelle. Grab everything. Grab the hose. Oh. Well, okay then. Okay. I guess we should have summoned defense. I was so sure. I was so sure. And there you have it, I guess. Not exactly the perfect showing for the deck, but I think good nonetheless. That duel was hilarious. But again, you got to see all of the good parts about the deck. You got to see it in some cool different situations. You got to see some of the resources it can generate. And that really is the goal of this video, to get across that these cards are in fact playable. Now, are they top tier? Absolutely not. Would you have a fantastic win rate master rank playing this deck? Probably not. However, it is a blast. The cards are good, definitely playable. There's a lot of potential here for the future once we delve further into like the illusion typing archetype type thing, you know what I mean? So once we get more illusion cards and generic illusion support, this deck's probably going to get a lot better. But for now, it is a really cool take on some classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monster era boss monsters in the form of, you know, Baphomet and Gazelle. Really, really dope take. I think they did a fantastic job in these cards. Again, like I said, they're just a bit shy of being sort of like meta relevant, or even really rogue for that matter. But the cards are definitely more than playable. So if you want to pick them up and have fun, if you like the look of them, if you want to play some classic Yu-Gi style gameplay, this is the deck for you. So if you got this far into the video, make sure you like the video down below. Of course, it is totally free. Helps me get the video out to even more people. So every single like is definitely appreciated. And you can let me know down below what exactly your thoughts are on the deck, or if you like it, don't like it, whether you think Kaiba's #1. That's up to you. You let me know down below. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.